All right, this game is very neutral heavy. So I'm gonna go over just some like tips. I'm not gonna go over the basics because I mean most of you all know that by now, and some of it's in the tutorial. But I want to go over some stuff that the tutorial I don't think it tells you. For example, we know by now, right, that you can clash. So you can clash stuff like, right, stuff like that. So usually when you see your opponent coming in, most players will try to clash that out. But what you can do, and some of you might have already experienced already, is losing the clash, right? So you can lose the clash by, I'm gonna try to explain it like this. You know, if you're farther away, right, and you just tap your R1, you'll do that, okay? But if you're in a certain distance and you tap it, you'll launch forward. So that's the spacing you want as you see them charge forward and they're doing their R1 dash, right? So if you time it, then instead of clashing, you will actually punish them, and you can your R1 would I guess in this case beat their R1. So that's a more optimal way of responding to it. Another thing you can do is you can mash your way out, right? Or you could triangle, right? I didn't mean to do that. Well, here's another example here, right? You can use your awakening to reset your opponent and bring them closer.
Don't hold it against me. I'll end this in 5 seconds.
And then that way you can just keep up the pressure. So sometimes I would do that. After, like, if I launch them far away, I will awaken and bring them after the cutscene. They will be positioned closer to me, and then I can like keep up the pressure. Obviously, we know by now that you can use like your awakening, your reverse actions to interrupt your opponent's combos, but that was just another example of what you can use awakening for. Another thing to keep in mind as well is, we know by now that your high speed movement or your flash step, you can, if you like parry perfectly or flash step perfectly on like your opponent's hit, or like when you're about to be hit, it will go into like a special cutscene and you can punish your opponent. Just keep in mind that you can do that off of anything in this game. So grabs, like R1, specials, projectiles, you can even do it off of reverse actions and awakenings, but that's the luck if you do that, because you would have to anticipate when your opponent is going to try something like that. And obviously if you're already getting hit, you can't, right, you won't be able to do that high speed movement. So even stuff that lingers like that, right? See what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. You have some options there. There was something else too. Oh yeah, another thing too. Another option for you is some players, they like to, which I do a lot. They will flash step into their guard breaker, right? So you can, a way of punishing that is if you see them flash step, you can decide to mash, right? And you can win a lot of exchanges like that. So that's just an example. Another tip is that on guard, of course, test what your character can do on guard. And also, speaking of testing, look at your character control guide and see what your abilities can do. But test what your character can do on guard. Some characters recover really fast from their combo string. For example, my man's here. I messed up. I'm playing with two hands right now, so. But some of them can complete their combo string really fast. So in some cases, you can't just mash on guard, but you have more options. Like for example, you can not complete your guard pressure. You don't have to complete it. And sometimes just doing little stuff like that could catch your opponent in a certain way, because they might think that, you know, either you're about to stop or they might try to move, and then you can get off a hit. Another option you have is go straight into your guard breaker. So or sometimes you can do it after like the first hit, or after like the second hit or something like that. But you also have options like that. If you know your opponent might try to punish you or something, maybe after you finish your combo or your combos, certain characters you can use your like spiritual pressure moves to, after your combo ends, to try to keep yourself safe. Or of course you could always try to reverse action or something. There was another thing too I wanted to, oh yeah. Some characters, their specials might not do damage to the opponent in the sense of it's not a projectile, it's not a something like that, right? It's just like a personal buff. But you can use that personal buff to help you extend combos. So just keep that in mind when you're like labbing your characters or testing your character's combos. So for example, if I do my regular square combo, right, and I do that, right? So all that is true. All that's a true combo. Opponent would not be able to block that, right? So keep in mind you can use your like personal buffs at the end of your combo string to extend your combo, and then like just go straight to another combo. Test your guard breakers too, your R1s, because some people R1s are different. Like for example, Ichigo's has a really good R1. Like he doesn't launch his opponent away, so he can just continue combo right afterwards, which is really good. There was something else, but I just trying to, oh yeah, movement. Movement in this game is something to get used to, but just keep in mind that you can go up, down, left, right. Okay, up, down, left, right. So no matter where your opponent is facing, or where you're facing, you will always go in these directions. The direction that you move your left analog stick in. So that being said, if you can always dash forward or dash back or dash side to side. So I'm saying that because if you're up close, sidestepping is decent in this game. You can get around a lot of stuff. Sometimes you can slip your opponent and get around, and you can punish. Sometimes you can you won't take the full opponent's combo because you kind of slipped out of it a little bit, and it gives you a time to recover. So sidestepping is really good in this game, and backstepping is really good in this game. So sometimes I would do like which one? Okay, yeah. So if I like, sometimes I'll do that. Bro, he's supposed to block. Bro, what does it do? I do that, right? And then I'll dash back and then come back with his tilt. So like different mix-ups you can do like that. So don't be afraid to move in this game, to like backstep and sidestep. I think backstepping and sidestepping is really good in this game. Dashing forward is really good, I think, when you're going for resets. Like for example, how can I, yeah, right? Dashing in like that after your R1 and then probably trying to go for a reset, right? Depending on the spacing, you might have to dash twice. But yeah, dashing in, dashing forward, just to kind of get you right back in the opponent's face, to try to go for something else can be useful. I'm trying to think of that's all I wanted to say. I can't really remember, but this is just part one. Once I think of some other things, I'll probably make something else. But that's it.